Hi folks, I'm Marcin. I'm Chief Protocol Architect for Matter Labs. And today we'll be talking about account abstraction, but in a little bit different sense. So you heard from Julian all the amazing things you can do with account abstraction. Proofs, verification, multisig, everything. But let's talk about account abstraction for us. And actually, why I personally am afraid to use it today. So, account abstraction promised us magic things. You'll be able to verify your transactions. You'll be able to do multi-transaction. You'll be able to use your phone, your face, your foot, your finger, whatever, to prove whatever you want to prove. All the flexibility, all the magic, and as he was just saying, we're just scratching the surface. But at the same time, one thing that you might have noticed in the presentation, there are like lots of accounts, but not too much value on them. People are basically, we invested a lot from the protocol perspective to make sure that this works. You've seen how 4337 is difficult, how it has all these corner cases to make sure that the account abstraction can fit. How we have these pre-verification, how we completely change the way how we do security models just to make sure that this flexibility is available. Complex validations. Handling all these scenarios to prevent people from DOSing our systems. Basically invalidating hundreds of transactions with one. Adding new special APIs just to handle account abstraction. All these things, this is a thing that, as a protocol lead, it's adding a lot of headache to my job. We build this fantastic elevator to make sure that people have it easier to use our systems. They don't have to use stairs, they can actually take a lift up. And we see the growth. We see the fantastic growth of number of transactions in mainnet, but this is 4%. This is just 4% of transactions on the Era mainnet are doing anything with paymasters or account abstractions. 96% are using the good old, here's my signature. So what happened? We were promised all these awesome things, and where are the users? Or the questions that we can ask is, are we using it? Are you actually using it? And I'm not talking about the throwaway account that you created to get coffee. I'm talking about using account abstraction for money you don't want to lose. And this is kind of the main point, because if we cannot break these limits, what will happen is we'll be building it for these mysterious users of the future. These billions of users out there, but not for us. Which means we will not notice the cases. We will be always treating this as second-class citizens. So you can ask yourself, what is blocking you? Why Clave, Argent X, Bravos is not your main wallet, where you actually put most of the money on. So while you're thinking about the answer to this question, I'm going to tell you about my fears. I'm going to tell you about 3 reasons why I am afraid of doing it today. And again, I'm not talking about the small wallet that I just created to get coffee. That's fine. I'm talking about the wallet with real assets. So the first main problem that scares me is migrations. A common thing you can see over and over is you create a wallet, bam, it's a new account. You use Bravos, it's a new account. You use Clave, it's a new account. This means you have to move stuff. And one thing that's hard, both in real life and on blockchain, is moving your stuff. It's expensive, it's scary, and sometimes it's plain impossible. Have soul-bound tokens. It just won't work. And the worst part is that this is not only a one-time move when you move from EOA to the wallet. Every time you want to change wallet, let's say you were using Bravos, now you want to use a different one, it's a new set of accounts. It's almost an equivalent to you moving your cell phone. You change your cell phone means you have to get the new phone number, the new email, everything from scratch. And we all know how painful this is. For my case, the reason why I'm afraid is I'm afraid I'll forget something. Because of all the NFTs and ECR20 token, like, you will forget something to move. And then you'll be like, shit, I uninstalled my wallet and I forgot about DAI. Damn it. The second thing is security. We heard all the wonderful things about what awesome things these wallets deliver. What they don't talk too much about is what are the risks. Is their code audited? Can they actually just deploy a new code? What kind of data do they use additionally? Is it like KYC, email? Some of them require email. Some of them require phone numbers. Usually you don't see it until you like very deep in the setup. And the worst case is they can always change it in the future. And you can say like, yes, Marcin, but it's the same with system contracts. Like contracts are the same thing. But remember, for account abstraction, it's like the meta contract. If this one is broken, all the other ones that you are interacting with are broken. This is like the main key to your house. So if something goes wrong with this, you're gone. Here I'm afraid that I don't have enough time to review all the security policies. I don't have much time to see what are their procedures. And here I'm simply afraid that I'll get hacked. Or rugged. And three, this is the thing we don't think about usually, what I'm calling emergency exits. So AA, awesome, you can do things on the phone, click, done. But what if you lose your phone? Sure, they have recovery stories, yes. But what if they get kicked out of Play Store? Most of the recoveries I've been playing with, to prepare for this presentation, they assume that mobile app is there. The first step is, if you lose your phone, no worries, install the mobile app. What if you cannot? What if it's not there? And again, emergency exit is something that you don't want to think about in normal day-to-day. But when the shit's on fire, well, that's usually when the stress comes in. And last but not least, if companies go bankrupt, I mean, they do. Remember, the wallets are like frozen kind of to this company. With their app, sometimes with their backend system. And the worst part, kind of coming back to the previous step, is you don't know what are the dependencies. You don't know how much is this purely on-chain versus how many of the fractions are off-chain. So here, I'm simply afraid my funds will be blocked. Potentially for a very long time. So all these things means I'm scared. I'm scared of using account abstraction like for real, for myself. But I don't like being scared. Part of our whole mission, that's why we're all here, is to make sure that we figure out ways how we can fix that. Both as people working on protocol and people working on the wallets. So here are my 3 proposals. First, when we talk about migrations, let's figure out a way how we can do easy migrations. Here's what I mean. There is the whole question about like, okay, 4437, EOA, AA wallets, okay, that might be hard, fine. I'm fine with doing one migration. But let's figure out a way how I can migrate my account from one wallet to another. If I was using Argent and I want to move to Clave, I want to do it without having to create a new account. This is possible. You know it is. It just requires kind of both parties actually agreeing on some kind of common interface of moving this, of proxying, of something like this. Second thing is, many of you are familiar with L2Beat. L2Beat does a fantastic job of being this kind of, I call it the regulator without power. Just being there and saying like, hey, by the way, this L2 is not doing that. We're not forcing you to do it, but you're going to have a big red button there. In my opinion, we're missing something like this for account abstraction. That will show us the risks in a table. Be like, yeah, look, you can use this wallet, but, you know, these two are still yellow and this part is red. So you better be careful. Because this will both increase transparency and decrease the risk. To be fair, this will not be visible by majority of people having just a couple of dollars in the wallet. They should not care. But it's mostly for us. And third but not least, really clear emergency exit plans. Really making it absolutely crucial at the top of these AA wallets, saying if things go bad, like really bad, how can you regain access to your wallet without any third-party dependency? If we have these, then I'll be less afraid. And maybe finally I'll move from my good old EOA to something more new. Thank you.